Are you ready to stop procrastinating on your dreams, goals, and visions that God has intentionally placed inside of your heart and inside of your mind? Today, I'm going to share with you my success strategy that's not only helped me, but it's helped my seven-figure clients. Hi, my name is Tanya Oliver. I'm a life coach to seven-figure entrepreneurs wanting to embody greatness in their business, life, and relationships. So, I'm about to get real personal real fast. This was birthed about 4 years ago because I was procrastinating a very personal project that was costing me my peace, and I was delaying on really dealing with the core issue. So, several years ago, my boyfriend had died in a car accident and I was swindled out of $300,000. I'm now publicly talking about this because there are many people that are just giving away their freedom to make decisions for themselves and to trust themselves. And so I was one of them. And I just gave all my money away. And after the death, I had to deal and I had to clean up the mess that I had created because I made the conscious decision to hand over my income to somebody else that was reckless, irresponsible. And at the time, I just was manipulated, gaslit, and persuaded in the wrong direction. So I had a closet filled with my bank statements that I was procrastinating. And every single day was creating stress in my heart and in my mind. And it was impacting me on a day by day basis. I had severe anxiety, severe depression, panic attacks, you name it. However, I'd refuse to numb myself and go get diagnosed as depressed because I already know that I was depressed. So I pulled all my tools, and one day I was like, look, T, you got to deal with the damn thing. And here's the thing I will say, being in a rock bottom state, I had hired 2 coaches to be part of my lineup. And this helped tremendously because at the point I was suicidal. And I knew that in order to get on the other side of this, and I chose consciously to live, and I had anchored into hope, knowing that this was seasonal and I was gonna get on the other side of it. I knew that I needed support and I was really weak because at the same time, I had to compartmentalize my personal life from my professional life. I was still working with seven-figure entrepreneurs and I was coaching them, and I had to be able to execute and perform at peak performance regardless of what I was dealing with and grieving with. I also had 2 coaches that were willing and capable of supporting me during that moment of really, really, really hard times. And I remember through literally God intervention, divine intervention, I had to sit down and I came up with this T chart. I'm not even kidding. This is how it's come up. I've come up with a few things that was literally God sent. And in this T chart, which if you click the link below, you can join the waitlist and I teach all this stuff inside of the Mastermind Elite. But I had come up with this T chart. And what happened was I said, I have to identify why I'm procrastinating this because it's more stressful not dealing with it than it is actually dealing with it. And one of my coaches at the time, she was guiding me into shadow work and she's saying, T, do you want to get through this? And I said, absolutely, I want to get through this. How fast do you want to get through this? I want to get through this really, really fast, like yesterday. The only way out is through. And so I made a conscious decision. I was going to do it. And I had to sit down. So I sat down, and through that divine intervention, that God intervention, I was guided with this chart. And I said, do I really want to get this done? The answer was yes or no. Yes, I want to get this done. I want to get out of it as fast as possible. So then from there, I branched off into 2 more categories. Do I need emotional support or do I need physical support? I needed both at the time. So I said, yes, I need both. Therefore, if it's a both, I had brought in and called my friend. She was very skilled in organization. At the time, she had time and she was willing and capable of supporting and helping me. So she drove down from Orlando and she helped me organize. And I think sometimes people think when you're really strong, you don't need help and you can figure it out. But when you're in those moments of weaknesses, you could do it. But having somebody there and having that accountability and having that support, is one of the greatest gifts you could ever receive. And all people, no matter how strong, how knowledgeable, that's when I truly understood the power of accountability and the power of support, regardless of what you're going through, because we're all human beings. So she came down, she helped me. I hired her, I paid her because I had money. I was doing pretty good and I had the means to pay for her. So it was an energy exchange, it was transactional. And then we got it done. She helped build up momentum. She spent 3 days with me. We got a lot of stuff done. And then from there, I kept the habit of every single day, which I'm going to get into another video, when how to handle overwhelm, which is another form of procrastination. Every single day, I just chipped away at it, 10 minutes minimum. I had a standard, a staple and non-negotiable, 10 minutes minimum every single day. I'm going to get in this closet. I'm just going to work on it. And then the other part of it is sometimes you don't need emotional support and sometimes you don't need physical support. Sometimes it's just a shift and moving the darn thing in a different position. Another example I'll give you is when working with clients, they have a hard time of maybe getting their exercise in because they'll plan to do it later in the day. Or I'll have them do a 5-step daily audit, which is in another video. So make sure you subscribe and look for the 5-step daily audit video on how to audit their day. And they'll play around with trying to figure out if it's the best for the nighttime or the morning time. And it takes about 30 days to find your flow state where things go. And so sometimes if it doesn't stick and you don't need emotional support, you don't need physical support, you just need to maybe give it a new home and a different time slot. When we're talking about time management, productivity, efficiency, sometimes it's just figuring out at night this never gets done. When I first started to get in the habit of meditation, every time I would try to meditate, or remember, the subconscious doesn't process the word try. So every time I would meditate, attempt to meditate in the morning, it wasn't consistent. Maybe sometimes I got it in, sometimes I didn't, but it wasn't consistent. So what I discovered is when I incorporated it in my night routine, I was solid. And once I got that solid, I did that for about a year. It became my natural state of being, just part of my DMOs, my daily methods of operations. It's just part of my night routine. And brushing your teeth. And now it's like brushing your teeth for your soul, brushing your teeth for your spirit. So then I was ready for my next level upgrade as I started getting into studying walking meditations and sitting meditations and standing meditations. I then was ready to add more to it. And then I incorporated the morning routine. So then I would do twice a day. And when you are trying to figure something out, you have to be honest with yourself of where is the best time slot for me right now in this season of my life. Life is seasonal. We're at different levels, different seasons, different transitions, different pivotal points. And so you have to just be honest and self-aware of what's going to work for you for right now in this season. It takes about 30 days to build the foundation, to find your flow state, and about 90 days to build the foundation of a new habit, 8 months to about a year for you to become the embodiment of it. But that's only if you're consistent. So getting on the other side and getting there the fastest way possible. If the answer was no the whole time and you're like, do I want to do this? No, I don't want to do this. And you know what? I don't have to do this anymore, because here's the thing. When you're working towards something and you've stepped into a new character and you stepped into a new identity and the external stuff has caught up to you, because I always say, I'm already her. Time is now catching up to who I am embodying. The money, the career, the published book, the live events, all of this has already existed in my mind. Yes, I'm delusional, but guess what? Time is catching up to me, and I'm taking the right action steps every single day to make sure that that delusion, that illusion becomes my new normal, becomes my reality. That's how this stuff works. But you have to put in the action steps. So as you evolve and as you get to your next level upgrade and as you create this new identity shift, you might not be in that season anymore, and you have the resources, you have the finances where you can delegate. So if you still want to keep it in your life box, you can then just train somebody else or hire somebody who's skilled to take over that thing. The one thing that pops in my mind is mowing the lawn or cleaning your home. Maybe now you can hire somebody to do that stuff because you have the money, and logically it makes no sense to spend those hours when you could be investing it in taking care of yourself, putting it back into the business, things that are money producing stuff, or things that are just going to make you more efficient and more productive so that you have the mental capacity and the endurance and the strength to and the clarity to be able to do more money driven tasks. So I hope you enjoyed today's live video YouTube tutorial. This sheet is absolutely a game changer when you incorporate it. Now, whatever you're going through, I want you to let you know it's temporary. One foot in front of the next, just like me on my walking treadmill, one foot in front of the next, one step at a time. Get back up, pick your head up, keep your heart open, and keep moving, because I promise you, life is so much better on the other side. And I also want to remind you that you were built for an extraordinary life, but first you have to become an extraordinary human being. I'm forever in your corner. Make sure you subscribe if you found value in this video. Share it, like it, comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.